Hey, Coach, how'd you think your team, the focus was for first road game?
I mean, at times we're pretty focused. At other times you had some lapses um, and I mean, it's to be expected. You know, at this point, I mean, we don't like it, but I mean, we keep seeing it at different times in each game, But I thought it was a little bit longer than normal. There were some lapses in which, we let Lewis get off while we probably had Walker a little bit in control, especially in the third and fourth quarters. But every team in the SEC's got more than one player that can hurt you. If you lean too heavily on one player, other players will get off. And Lewis had her way with us today.
Oh, and then we'll go to Greg.
Coach, you mentioned lapses, but it didn't seem like there was a lapse in any effort tonight. And would rebounds be a good indication of that? I mean, when you out-rebound a team by more than almost, I think, 30 rebounds, does that say something to you about your team's focus and intensity for the entire game?
Yeah, I mean, that's an area in which we are pretty good. A lot of it is our own rebounds. I mean, our own shots. If we can complete, making a layup, I think we can get control of the game a lot sooner. I thought there were some definitely defensive breakdowns. I mean, there are a lot of rebounds out there that we didn't get that they got and they scored when we weren't matched up. So those are kind of areas that I'm saying where, Alabama made us pay for it. And, as we move throughout this league, people are going to make us pay for it. And I just don't want that to be, an area in which costs us some games.
Greg and then Mitch.
Dawn, you talked before the game about getting Destiny her looks and kind of jump starting her, especially scoring wise. What'd you see from her tonight that allowed her to get free?
Tempo. She pushed tempo. When she's playing fast and downhill, she's a hard guard. I mean, there were times in which she looked spectacular. There were other times in which, she didn't do the very thing that put her in a position of scoring. When she's direct line drive and doesn't get reared off of her line, she's pretty accurate. When they force her to change her shot and force her outside of her direct line drive, she's not as accurate. But it was great to see her get it going. I mean, it's great to see her run our basketball team and get other people involved. I mean, she had 5 assists, she had 8 rebounds. So it was definitely a good game for her. I know she has to feel good about it.
Mitch and then Tyler.
Coach, you talked about earlier this week about the team trying to figure out that identity. Obviously, you guys, like you said, go out there and out-rebound them. And there was a point where Victoria was pulling down an offensive rebound. She's getting fouled, and she's smiling about it. I mean, is that the grittiness that you're looking to see out of this team as you get into these more closer, these conference games down the stretch?
I mean, rebounding is an area, but I think we're a really good rebounding team, bar none. We got players who crash the boards. We got players who box out and get defensive rebounds. It's the grittiness that's what's missing is, when Jordan Lewis, put her team on her back and, she scored, we fouled her. We just didn't get stops when we needed to get stops until we actually had to, put somebody else on her and change the way we were defending her in order for us to, just slow her down. We didn't stop her. We just slowed her down and made her maybe pass off a little bit more than she was doing in the third quarter. So there are glimpses of it, of, really good play. We know in order for us to achieve what we're trying to achieve, it has to be 90% of the game, or else people are going to beat you.
Tyler and then Michelle. Tyler? All right, we'll go ahead to Michelle.
Yeah, Coach Staley, if I could squeeze in too. First, I totally understand what you're saying about the defense, but on the other hand, you held a team that was undefeated previously to just 60 points. So what were maybe some of the good things that you saw, and then if there were any, and then Zaya has not just been one of the best guards, obviously in the SEC, but in the country, and probably one of the most consistent. I know you were looking for big things from her this year, but how do you feel just about her consistency as one of the top, guards in the country?
I mean, from your first question, there's no doubt we're very, very capable of, and when I say this, I'm not really concentrating on like today. I'm looking at the big picture. We got, a tough stretch of our conference season coming up. We got a game at, versus UConn in February. We got an SEC tournament, and then hopefully on to the NCAA tournament. We're looking further down the line because we know that if we stay where we are today, we're exiting early out of the SEC tournament, and we won't really get a chance to defend our regular season championship in the SEC. So we're looking down the line, just those defensive lapses where we can't get someone under control. But it's a move off of previous games. So I'm proud of our players in that regard. Zaya Cook, I mean, Zaya's coming to the season with, a huge chip on her shoulder. Not for any reason besides wanting to be the best. I mean, she's extremely coachable. She wants to know all the, the good, the bad, the ugly of her game. And I told her today, she was bobbling the ball and kind of looked, she looked like she was just, in a different mode. And the Nike ball is hard for our primary ball handlers to handle. It's a little bit different than the Wilson ball that we play with. So you can't treat it like the Wilson ball. You can't grab it as well. You fumble it, even though we practice with the Nike ball for the past 2 days, it's a little bit of the game. So she didn't figure it out until 38 minutes into the game. 38 minutes into the game, her shot looked a little better. She took less dribbles. So is that, we had a conversation on the bench about that type of that, I mean, she can score points without a doubt. I mean, she can get to anywhere she wants to go on the floor. The complete part of Zaya has got to stop Jordan Lewis when she's putting her team on her back and trying to will them to a win, because she's very capable of making great plays defensively. So, but no doubt about it, she's one of the best guards in the country.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, let's try Tyler again, and then we'll go to Keith.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you coming back to me. Coach, I just wanted to ask you, when you're sort of dominating in the paint, especially with the rebounds the way y'all were early in this game, do you kind of adjust your offensive game plan to kind of lean into that more and capitalize when y'all are able to get those rebounds, both on the offensive and the defensive side of the court?
From the offensive side, no, we don't make adjustments. The only adjustment can be to make the basket, like make a layup. Defensively, no, I mean, I think it's something that we work. Rebounding is something. Rebounding, I tell our team all the time, it's not a skill set. It's a decision. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. You're going to box out or not. You're going to crash the boards or you're not. Our team has really got some players on there that they don't mind rebounding the basketball. They don't mind getting in there and getting gritty and getting the rebounds. Lily's one of them. Bree's another. Victoria, and then you got I mean, all of them. I mean, I can just go down the list. You got LA, you got Aaliyah. They're rebounding beings, and I like that about them, and it helps us start defensively. It helps us start our break. We get rebounds. They're looking at outlets up the floor, so that part helps us. That is the one area that we try to, force the issue, because we can definitely get Destiny Henderson involved a lot more.
Keith, and then Joe.
Coach, you had a lot of your critical stats go your way. Obviously, offensive rebounding 26-7, fast break points 21-4, second chance points, paint points. All those were going your way. How about free throw shooting? How are you feeling about that? And then can you just talk a little bit more about Destiny? Because I think her play is going a little unnoticed, even though she had a big game tonight. I think she's really growing into her role. She had, I think, 9 assists last game. This game, 5 assists, only 1 turnover. Talk about her growth and maturation as she's growing into the role of leading this team.
I mean, Destiny Henderson is, you know, a lot of people, you know, she's smooth, you know, she doesn't probably want the attention. You know, so sometimes that really hurts her. You know, you got to have a personality in this game in order for you to be noticed. Sometimes, and she's one of them. I mean, she's gonna put her head down and she's just gonna play whatever comes her way. Like when we were over at the crossover tournament in South Dakota. Prime example. I mean, we played 2 very tough basketball teams, and she's MVP of the tournament. Under the radar, under the radar. I mean, that's a role that she's played for us for the past couple of seasons. But now that she's out front, people should notice her. When the Dawn Staley award comes out, she'll be on it because sometimes you gotta know. Like I know, like I see her every single day, and she's definitely one that is one of the best backcourts in the country. And I appreciate you bringing it up, Keith, because if we don't talk about it, nobody else will. So I appreciate you bringing it up and allowing us to expound on our backcourt.
Joe, and then we'll close it out with Greg.
Coach, sticking with Destiny for a moment, she was asked after the game by the SEC Network about learning how to drive the car, so to speak, for your team. And she says it's a challenge. So she's still working, as you mentioned, she's kind of quiet, keeps her head down. How do you help her find this voice? Because you mentioned you have one of the best backcourts in the country, and you're going to have to rely on Destiny to be one of those leaders on the floor to get this team where it wants to go.
I mean, leaders have a different style. Henny's style is she's, although she may make a mistake out there, she's never flustered. She's the smoothest turnover maker there is. Nothing really bothers her. She's extremely coachable. That's why you want somebody in that position as your point guard to not get rattled, even though if she'll turn the ball over, she gets right back into play. She doesn't stay in that mode. It is turn the page, let's go. And I think she came here with that. But she is finding her way. And for us, we've done certain things with her as far as we try to figure out, what she likes to run, late game situations. We talk about that, so that part she doesn't really have to think about. It is, now she's putting her imprint on our team with picking and choosing spots in which she can explode for points like she did today, or she can dump it off. I mean, there was one play today that, I think she was on the left side of the floor. She came down, went behind her back, scooped it up, and, split some defenders. That was beautiful, calm, cool, collected. I mean, it could have been a turnover. She was going to respond in that same way. So I like the fact that she's just, doesn't get too high with the highs or low with the lows. She maintains, and she's a great listener. So, the sky is the limit for her and our team if she continues to play like this.
And the last question to Greg.
Don, you talk about the grittiness required to rebound. I was just curious what you saw from Victoria Saxon today, especially on the offensive board. She seemed especially active.
V, that's her specialty. She rebounds the basketball. She and Henny are best friends. So, their personalities are very similar in that they're unassuming. They don't like all the fanfare, but they get the job done. V can rebound outside her area. She can leap above people. She's confident in her ability to leap and jump and, make shots. She's done that again, over the past 2.5 seasons with us, and she's only going to continue to get better.